This is Jim. Welcome back to another lesson here on educator.com. Today we're going to go over blogging. Now, what does blogging have to do with e-marketing? Well, it's got a lot to do with it. We're going to go over the lesson overview right now, and we're going to talk about the purpose, which I'm going to talk right now, how to create an account on the two more popular blogs, and then how to blog. Okay, so we're going to go over the purpose right now, and the purpose behind blogging is very simple. It's basically to communicate, okay, and educate your craft. Okay, and what I mean by craft, okay, I mean your business, your service. Okay, for instance, I'm in the internet business, so I'll talk about important topics relating the internet. For instance, SEO, web design, social media, all those things that I can communicate to the masses. And it's nice because, one, it is favorable to the search engine. Okay, it is definitely favorable to search engines because, after all, the search engines were invented. The internet was invented as a method of sharing information, and the search engines were there to search for that information. And the beginning stages of the internet, basically we're talking about how to find articles and newsletters on scientific topics. A lot of universities, they wanted to share ideas and they wanted to comment on those ideas. And that's the beauty of early blogging, if you will. Blog these days allow people to read an article and comment on that article. And if you go to websites like CNN.com, okay, or even ABCnews.com, okay, you will see that underneath their articles, they allow people to comment on those articles, good or bad. It definitely generates interest and it drives traffic into the website. Now, in your business, obviously this is a news organization. In your business, it may not be as popular. But if you are a baker and you want to show off pictures of your work and share recipes, I mean, it's not about somebody taking away business or by teaching what you're doing. Believe it or not, people will hire the teacher before they hire the students. So take heed, go ahead and blog. It only drives traffic to your website, and it really is a very good way of promoting yourself. And nice thing about it, in the next lesson, we're going to talk about syndication. Okay, we're going to talk about sharing, okay, to other websites. Okay, so, and in this lesson, if you say, for instance, you're not a writer, okay, well, I've got a little, we're going to talk a little about using other people's content who are in a similar or field as you are. So, we're going to go ahead and dive right in to the next slide over here and talk about the two of the more popular blogs out there. Of course, WordPress is the king of kings. To me, this is the best, absolute best online blog software anywhere in the world. There are literally hundreds of blog softwares out there, but WordPress to me takes the cake. The nice thing about WordPress, and by the way, here at educator.com, we will be teaching a class on WordPress. WordPress is great because not only are you able to blog, but you're able to, well, create your own website. And a lot of people are migrating towards this instead of using guys like me, webmasters like myself, to maintain their website. But then again, I'm a teacher now. So as a teacher, I can teach you how to do that, and I will at that lesson. But before we get there, let's focus on this lesson. And we're going to go over WordPress in this lesson and talk about how to create an account, how to set up an account, and just give you an overall view of it. Obviously, if you have a WordPress account, you may want to pause this and open up that account and kind of follow through. You can go to WordPress.com. Okay, and open up an account at that part. Also, if you are in LinkedIn, okay, and I'm going to type this all in. If you are in LinkedIn, webtips.com. Okay, they have, if you look under their under their menu, under applications, you will notice that they have a WordPress application. So whatever you write will automatically, instantaneously get communicated to your LinkedIn account. So the more people, the merrier. Okay, so the nice thing about it is that, again, with blog, you can keep your customer base informed about your goods and your craft. It's easier to maintain than a website because it's more or less like writing in a text editor or a Word doc. Okay, it's like, and I mentioned before, it's great for SEO since you can link back to your own website. That's right, link exchange. Okay, so you can refer back to your website. And again, that's a big favorite for search engines when they see a multiple bunch of links coming back into your website. And when we talk about syndication, that's really where it really helps. So the next big web software out there, which I personally like, is called Blogger. And this belongs to Google. Okay, with that in mind, you pretty much have to have a Google account. Okay, and that's pretty easy to do. If you have Gmail, if you have YouTube, pretty much you have a Google account. So all you got to do is log in, go to blogger.com and log in, and you will be able to, as if you're going into YouTube or if you're going into Gmail. And on the menu system, you will be able to find the Blogger software. And in the next slide, I have a couple of blogs that I've personally maintained. Of course, the one I'm most focused on is the WordPress blog. So webtipstv.wordpress.com and webtipstv.blogspot.com. Okay, so you notice that we have WordPress on one, Blogspot on another. When I write articles, I write on both blogs. But of course, I write them first in WordPress and then I copy and paste the content onto Blogspot. It's not a lot of work, but I do it because it generates a lot of business my way. And of course, I enjoy writing. I enjoy educating. I enjoy the process of enlightening people and helping them with their business in hopes that they use their business for the better of mankind. So I'm going to go ahead, open up a browser here, and show you the different software. This, by the way, if you go to the website, my WordPress website, this is the opening page you will see. You see, it's very simple, no frills, not very exciting, but I don't intend to excite people. I just want to inform them. So I don't need bells and whistles. I don't need high-end graphics unless I have a photograph or two. But this is basically it. I keep everything very short and succinct. To the right side over here of WordPress, it lists a recent post. I'm going to go ahead and increase the size of the screen here. As you can see on the right side, you've got recent posts. It's got archives, which means it'll maintain articles that you've written a long time. And as you can see, my articles go back to year 2009. We're at the year 2012 now. And here are the different categories that I talk about. I talk about business, life tips, NASDAQ, things of that nature. And of course, I have a main opening page right here where I talk about us. And that's pretty much it. So what you need to do is on the bottom over here, you can go ahead and log in. It says log out because on this page, I'm already logged in. Okay, so when you do create an account, you'll be able to create your own username, password. And I suggest going into WordPress.com and create an account over there. In my case right here, again, I use webtipstv.wordpress.com. Right here, webtipstv.wordpress.com. And then, of course, because that's the username that I want people to notify. So whenever I write an article, I want it to go back to webtipstv.com. And I do that because that's the main website I want to go to. In your case, you want it to go back or make a reference to what your business website is, okay, if you wrote an article. Okay, so again, this is the opening page. when I do log in, I'm taken to what is known as a dashboard. Now, this is WordPress we're talking about. And in a dashboard, when you open this page, you'll notice that there are several things that they show here. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and upload, show you a little bit more here. You've got posts, you've got a lot of things being shown here. I'm going to decrease the size. There we go. I wanted to show you the left-hand size, and I think I had the screen a little bit larger than it should be. But on the left-hand side, you have a lot of menus over here. The most important thing is the post. Okay, I've highlighted that. You see that in red. You can view all your posts, and over here it summarizes everything that you've done so far. As of now, 2012, I have 59 posts. I've got 2 pages, 7 different categories. We're going to talk about that. I've got 9 different comments. Most of them improve. It tells me how much space I have, or I'm allowed, and how much I've used. Obviously, I've got a long ways to go. But writing doesn't take that much space. Usually space will be occupied if you put like video, audio, or a lot of images. So going on the left side, I'm only going to touch base on a few things here. The first of all is how do I post comments? Well, you go to post here, and I want to show you all the posts that I have. Okay. All right, and so there we go. It kind of looks crazy there, so I'm going to decrease the size a little bit more. So there, it looks more like a web page now. And here are the titles of the post. And I know it's kind of hard to see, but trust me on this. You can edit the post. It'll tell you who the author is, which obviously is me. It tells you which category it belongs to. Okay, and again, I can go ahead and click on the title. How much does a website cost? Well, some people's too much. But here it explains what are the factors in creating a website here. Okay, and this is basically it right here. So this is my article, and this is the categories, okay, that I check box in. And then from there, whenever I make an update, I can press update, or I can preview the changes here, right here. Okay, I click here, and I can preview anything that I made, and there it is, voila. Okay, rather long article, but informative nonetheless. And so with that in mind, I have my articles. Now on the right side, I've got categories. So you can see these categories right here that I've highlighted. And I can control the categories on this by clicking on categories on the left side here. Okay. Now notice that all the categories are listed here. I can add a new category if I like. I can subtract a new category. Over here, I can add a new category. So I'm going to go ahead and increase the size. Hopefully it's not that impacted. I can say something like, domain names, okay? It's just something that I'm going to put temporarily. And then I can click add a new category. And there you see it appears right there. Since I have no intentions of keeping this, I'm going to go ahead and delete it. It'll ask me if I want to delete it, and I say, okay. There it is. It's gone. And so you can also add tags on the left side, you see right here. With tags, and there you see tags, you can add a tag, and basically this is for the search engines to find you. Okay, so I write a lot of stuff about audience building, Androids, blogging, bullying, cell phones, colors, Craigslist, all these things that I want the search engines to eventually note. Okay, and then finally, of course, on the left-hand side, one of the things you can do is, let's go back one. Okay, you can copy a post. You can add a new post if you like. I'm not going to do that right now. Well, actually, I will do that right now. So I'll just go ahead and add a new post. I give it a title. Okay, and I'll just type in educator.com, and then here I'm just going to write currently being filmed on educator.com. And then I want to go ahead and select a category where it appears. I'm going to select news, and I can select multiple categories. Then I can preview this, and as soon as it shows up here, there it is right there. Okay, currently being filmed on educator.com. People can leave a reply if they like, leave a comment. I haven't accepted this yet. Unless I press the publish button, okay, it will not be published. But one of the things down here is that I can decide whether I want people to leave comments. Since I have it checked, I do want people to have comments, okay, or trackbacks. So, and of course, if you don't know what a trackback is, you can click here and find out all about trackbacks. It'll talk about everything that you need to know. So go ahead and check it. Keep it checked if you want it. If you don't want it, uncheck it. A lot of times, maybe you don't want it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and save this as a draft because I may expand upon it later on. I don't want to publish it right now. All right. Other thing you want to control here, as you can see, there's a whole bunch of things here that you want to look for. Now, notice that when I go to my blog right here, okay, I'm going to shrink it. You have two tabs. Okay. Now, I'm going to talk about the design in a second here, but the two tabs are controlled by what is known as pages. So if you click on all pages, let's go to page and then all page. Okay, notice that I have them listed right here, about, and then of course I've got about Web Tips TV. This one, Cindy, is a draft. I'm going to go ahead and trash it for now. Okay, there, hopefully it'll go away. Okay, error moving to trash. Okay, so I guess there's a little malfunction with, it's gone. Okay, so it's gone. All right, so any rate, the About page is actually the home page. And then About Web Tips TV, okay, notice I've got home and I've got About Web Tips TV. So if I wanted to add a new page, I can easily do that by going Add New right here, okay? Down on the left side, I'll go ahead and increase it a little bit so you can see. I'll go ahead and add a new page, and then I'll just decide, okay, let's just put educator.com again, okay? And then I don't have to put, let's just say my experience here on educator.com, okay, which has been a fantastic experience. Then I'll go ahead and publish it. And I'm going to keep my fingers crossed. Hopefully it'll appear on this page once I refresh it. Okay, there it is right there. You see how that tab appears there. Okay, and if I click on it, there you notice I'm going to shrink it a little bit so you can, oops, that's not shrinking. Okay, this is, there, this is shrinking. Okay, notice that I have the title there and I've got the verbiage that I put my experience on educator.com. Okay, so going back over here, I can also, well, whenever I get the chance, I can click on all pages. Again, I will go ahead and delete this. Okay, put it in the trash. Hopefully it won't malfunction. There it goes. Now, how do I determine which appearance I want? Okay, so I click here on appearance. And you can see below, above it, you can add polls, you can add ratings if you like on your blogs. So play with it if you like. Under appearance, I've got themes. Okay, and the theme that I use is Fusion. Okay, and if you can see this right here, again, I'll increase the size. Okay, and of course, this is what I use for this page right here. Okay, you notice that it matches what I show you here. There's other different themes that I want to use. Now I'm going to go a little bit of crazy here. So let's say I want to use this theme right here, this little pink one right here. I will activate it. Okay, well actually maybe I don't need to do that. Let's go back to, well, let's go take a look what happens. Didn't mean to do that, but at any rate, let's go back to home. There it is. Actually, that looks pretty cool. It's got a nice little pink tone. It's got a nice little, well, you see that? It's got a nice little sub graphic over there. I like it, but I may not keep it, but I do like it. And of course, here is another theme that I kind of like. You can do a live preview. I obviously made the mistake of activating it before looking at it, but you can do a live preview of what the blog will look like before I foolishly activated it. Okay, just give it a second over here to go ahead and activate it. Hopefully it'll work soon enough. Give it a chance. And of course on the right hand side, while we're waiting for it to get activated, you can choose a text header and background color. So there's a lot of information here that you can go ahead and apply here. let's see if we can go ahead and let's go ahead and try it again. Whoops, I guess it took me out of the, we'll go ahead and site admin. We'll go back into the appearance mode here. And another thing you can have, again, I'm going to go ahead and change this. You can look at any one of these designs, whichever works for you. Again, here's the one that I wanted, so I'm going to activate this. Okay, this is called Fusion, and hopefully, there it is. It's probably live. So if I go to my blog at any time, okay, I'm just going to go ahead and end this talk about WordPress, press enter, and there's my blog again. And obviously very easy, very helpful. I recommend WordPress over any other blog. If you don't want to use WordPress, of course, there's Blogger. Okay, my address is webtipstv at blogspot.com. I'll minimize it again, webtipstv at blogspot.com, right over here. Okay, and then I'm going to go back to the browser. Okay, you can sign in out here. I'm already logged in, so you can sign right in up on the upper right over here. Once you do sign right in, you'll be taken to this kind of control panel. Obviously, far more simpler, far more less complex than WordPress, but then again, it doesn't have the bells and whistles that WordPress does. I prefer bells and whistles, so in this case, I'm going to list all my posts. You see that on the left side. Unlike WordPress, this is a lot more minimized. So if I click on post, there are all my articles here. And if I roll over, it gives me a chance to edit, view, and delete. Okay, and if I wanted to write a new, create a new post, there's that little pencil icon here. I'll increase the size. Okay, and if I want to do that, it'll take me to this information here. I can put the title here. I can write whatever I want over there. And as you can see, it's pretty simple stuff. Here on the left-hand side, again, I can look at templates. I can use this is the template I use with a nice blue background. But I can choose other ones too out here. Same kind of deal as WordPress. All you got to do is click on it, and there's apply to blog. You can customize it. You can go ahead and play with it a little bit. And that's the whole concept of blogging. And the nice thing about, and I'm going to go back to the slides over here, so I'm going to continue my discussion a little bit more until we move on to the next degree. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and erase this here. So again, the whole benefit of blogging is, one, you can go ahead and communicate your craft. All right, and then two, syndicate it, which we will talk in an upcoming lesson. Number three, we can definitely utilize this for the benefit of SEO. Okay, and then we'll also talk about RSS feeds. Okay, in other words, you can add this to a feed into your website or add other people's information on a website. And so we're going to talk about that a little bit, and that's basically all about blogging. When you want to add other people's information, and if you're not into writing a lot of articles, and if I were to go back to my WordPress blog, let's go back, see if I can find it here. Okay, let's type it in. Okay, let's go to HTTP WordPress. TV.com. Whoops, I guess it didn't like that. Let's go back over here. I got it all wrong. So let's go ahead and type in WebTips. There it is. Let's go webtipstv.wordpress.com. Sorry about that. So basically, when I click on this article right here, 9 stocks that have been paying uninterrupted dividends for more than 68 years. Obviously, I don't know anything about this, But what I do is I copy the first few words of a paragraph and then provide a link. And I'm going to go ahead and increase the size here. Notice that I've got the title. Okay, that can't change. And I write the first few letters, or the first few words of the opening paragraph, and then over here I provide a link. So when I click here, okay, and I'll open up in a new tab, okay, there is the article right there, okay, by Brian Richards over on The Motley Fool. Okay, talk about your web. You can also add bullet points, summarize what the article stands for, and that's really all there's to it. Okay, if again, you can blog whether you are a writer or not. You can use other people's content. There's billions of articles out there for you to use, and that's really it. So I hope you benefited a lot from this discussion on WordPress, on blogging with WordPress and Blogger. Again, there are other software out there. Take your pick. This is Jim here on educator.com.